Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back to the Gnomes. Hold on, let's get the soundtrack. Simcity 4. Alright, so the thing here is, as yesterday, I'm continuing now this second round of debuilding this OC Dorothy, but I'm gonna change her face, her head mesh, because the body, maybe I changed something about her, just to make it slightly different from my rig, or maybe not. It's not yeah, maybe just the head. Yeah, it's fine. So basically this is for custom rigging project collaboration, and I'm removing all the settings, right, all the structures that are overly complicated, or for the control rig also. So I'm just sustaining the very basics, like a skeleton, this base skeleton, the waves, yeah, the wave paint probably gonna maintain. So here maybe we have some issues with no, this is working. Okay, so just maybe this, let's see, yeah, the parenting, there is a target skeleton. Yeah, so I don't like to parent the deformed skeleton between itself. Is like so this is actually wrong, but the problem is that I think I've lost these target skeletons, so I have to fix a few things here, but it's not too difficult. So maybe we're gonna duplicate all these ones. Yeah, something like this. Then we're gonna, they are all selected, I guess. So we're gonna move this Alt M to target skeleton. Okay, we're gonna and hide this, but no. Now I'm gonna change all this, will make into, yeah, all this we're gonna change to, let's reset this, or maybe not. Maybe we're gonna expand them. Yeah, it's not so good here. Okay, let's do this. Change their colors to this one, right? Control F2. B for bone, find replace. Instead of def 3D, we're gonna make mechanism or target. You know, this time I'm gonna do target. Yeah, and also they've got wrong finalization here. Okay, this is insanely incorrect. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to collaborate. Okay, it didn't change. All right, so that will be easier actually. It's because this is incorrect, so we're just gonna do this. These are variations, a hierarchy system here. 3F, yeah, so 3F, we're gonna, oops, wrong one. Okay, so this is what I wanted in the end. I'm gonna save. We're gonna change all, whichever of these is mechanism, we'll change to target and remove this. We want also we're gonna make sure these are non-deformed bones. Copy to selected. Then we want a head. We could use this one, right? Target head. We parent this to the control. Too loud soundtrack, sorry. While this we're gonna parent to okay, we're gonna reparent this thing. So this we parent here. This I think it's parented here already. Yeah, this seems to be correct. Yeah, target shoulder, target upper arm. Yeah, so all this seems fine. Here we probably lost some stuff, so we have to do the same thing here. Shift D, expand. Okay, so we have these ones. Let's get this back. So we're gonna parent this here. What is this? This is a handle wrist. Yeah, so this is a system handler for the twists. This is already a helper bone. This is incorrect. Shouldn't be in the main skeleton. Not in this rig type. So here we're gonna make a fill organization here. So this is the triple limb. Yeah. Let's make sure we are in pose mode here to change this color. What is this? What is this double thing here? I think it's fake. Yeah, it's something incorrect. Bad stuff. Okay, let's move this to the limb triple. All right. I don't like this system anymore, but it exists. We can do this, right? Okay, so in principle, I shouldn't be touching anything else here. We just need to fix these parentings. So now this can be parented here. This can be parented. It's already parented. This one to the mechanism. And this one is already, it's connected. Yeah, it is connected indeed. So we're gonna parent here to here, here to here. And that one for, okay, The parenting of the mechanism now is different. So I believe we're gonna just make this. Okay, now you have a simple control, but there's no proper I key here. This could be bad for some rig tests that we want to do, so we need to fix this in the most crude way, right? Which will be to clear parent this to here, and then we're gonna make an I key bound constraint here. Shift K, no, it's Shift I on pose mode, yes, without target, not with target. This is a new operator, context menu, didn't exist. Okay, poll target, no poll target here, and just 2, and that's use tail, that's correct, yeah. Yeah, so the crudest thing here. And then we gonna also symmetrize this. All right, then apparently I've lost some connection here, but that's okay. Or maybe it's not okay. Let's see. Something is missing here. Okay, I see. There's a different setup. I'm doing this. Yeah, it's not. Okay, let's ignore this thing. And as for here, custom properties, no properties here. So okay, let's just delete this then. If there are missing drivers, we're gonna also delete them. As for this leverage or this system, I think I'm not using it right now. Okay, we need to find out why these helper bones here are not working. It's probably the parenting. Control heap. Now this is the control type. Where is the target tie? Okay, it's here. Okay, it lost the target apparently. Parent to control type. Okay, for some reason it lost this target. Mechanism foot. Okay. Well, wrong target actually. this stretch 2, I think it will be this one. Yeah. Okay, so maybe because I've debuilt something, the copy rotation sucks for this, right? Oh no, it is responding, but it seems that it's not good enough, right? So it's copy rotation on the, okay, I see what's going on. So this is not a good bone constraint for the current setup. I don't know, it is parented here. Maybe we need to unparent this, and instead we're gonna make it also, I don't like this organization here. It's because I've unmade the, okay, I know what to do. I've unmade the widgets to simplify the rig. Now I have to change this. We're gonna make this is another way. We're gonna make it as var. Now they are. Now this is better to manipulate. It's inside, but that's okay. We control this one. So here, also same here. Right, so I don't understand why I'm still missing this setup. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're gonna, he said it's parent to the control tie. Okay, maybe we need instead to parent it to, let's try this. Now you have the activation. Yes. So it has to follow the same parenting relation of the, so it's confusing because, for example, the foot here, we are parenting to here, but in the case of these ones, for this particular automation of the fan bone here to work, we need to mimic the parenting. Otherwise, it's like not, it's the opposite of stacking transforms, double transforms. It's like because it is parented, the copy rotation bone constraint doesn't respond to, yeah, also because this bone is was parented to the target tie, which is good, right? But then you need a copy rotation bone constraint sucks. You need a transformation bone constraint in order to make this counter the parenting relations. It is very curious. No one knows about that. So that is how it is. Okay, maybe copy rotation bone constraint is a big revision anyways. All right, so you have this bone doing its job here, but you see it's just a fan bone, and there is this one, and actually it's being a deformed bone, helper bone, right? So we're gonna change this color here. It's gonna save. We are now gonna going to check this one. So this setup, is it doing the proper rotation as well? We see that the parent is the target hip, but yeah, I was thinking of doing this one differently. This it's a very new implementation, but you see that it is, yes, we see that it doesn't rotate in sync, right? So this is correct, right? It's not staying stiff, it is, but it's not also doing this, right? So it's actually, it's not aligning with here, so it's like it's doing its job, but the amount of derotation that we want here would depend, right? Would vary. So I was using this value for now. Let's keep it. So what we'll do here with the traditional technique of 2004, that would be of the fanny bones, fan helper bones, fanny helper bones. So I call these big ones fan bones, and if we use any other surrounding fan bones around it, depending on it, so parented to this or either this, usually I just use this one, not this dual fan bone system with this twice more work, and it's harder, it's more complicated to set up. There's even one solution of CG Dives, he used this and a third bone which is good for joints like the, but there are also some complications. So he used it for Rigify add-on, and here it's not Rigify, it's a custom rig, so full custom rig in Blender. So it's very hard to make that. I couldn't find in my organization here to have it follow exactly the angle that I want. It's very bizarre, but it's difficult. It's challenging to rig that. But there might be another system. So there's a system I'm trying to implement for this mini project. You can find me on Discord or in the Blender artist forum. There I've placed an invitation, public invitation to that project, medium term to long term project for the community of rigging, right? Rigging templates. So you can find there, you send me a private message, or if you find me on Discord in some, I'm in many various Blender servers. And if you're interested in this collaboration project of rigging, I want to make a rig template that has base meshes and the most elegant, that means optimal, cost efficient, right, effective and efficient solutions. And there's all so not just helper bones, armature deform solutions, object modifiers, what you name it, whatever, geometry nodes. There are some collaborators already, but I want to find the best solutions. This, not the best, it is the most elegant, precisely, that gets the job done with quality for the character design, so skinning, and at the same time easy to implement or not too time consuming. It's very, very specific, and there are various ideas of rigging, of course, creative ideas, but they can be classified, in my understanding. It's, of course, there's always some subjective aspect to it, but objectively, you know the amount of work it takes to, possibly, you know, if you have rigged already, to try to match character design on pose, exaggerated pose after rigging, during rigging for 3D animation, or just posing. It's very hard, and basically there are a lot of good techniques, methods, and approach which work, but they are effective, but they are not efficient. They suck. And every time you're gonna rig with that approach, that thing, that setup, it will like be a nightmare to re-implement it. Sometimes you can copy paste, but yeah, it makes sense, right? Rigify add-on is very good at that route. usability, but at the same time the meta rig thing, regenerating, but it's not very versatile. So I prefer versatility, but then there is a high cost for like I'm suffering with plenty of characters. Then besides Rigify add-on, there are other solutions out there, but everything, it's either you have to pay and learn, of course, whichever add-on you use, it's paid or free. It's more cumbersome. You have to learn how it works, and some can be, yeah, they have advantage and disadvantage. Okay, so here why do I need these ones? These are some mappers that I'm not using right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna delete these structures. It doesn't matter in this sharing. To solve the, where it would be, so there is something, Shift F6, right? So I think we're gonna get rid of all of these things, the drivers. Yes, so we're gonna remove all of this. So select all and delete invalid drivers. And what is this? Fan type, no, also delete channels. There we go. So no more of this garbage. Easy way to solve some stuff here. And now we are going to continue assessing if these fan bones, they are activated. Okay, so I know these ones are working. What about these ones here? They are locked. They don't seem to be working. Am I missing some target here? Target foot? No, this seems to be fine. So I didn't need to add a copy transform here and reparent it, but maybe this one I need to parent. Yeah, Control Shin. So this is the mistake. We're gonna bring this to the control thigh, and now it is working. So this is could be understood also as an anti-scissoring technique, but it is the dual fan bone technique. I call it dual fan bone in this case. Let's see if you have a third bone here. It's a triple system, and maybe I can try to show you why this doesn't, why it is tricky. Let's get just these bones here of one side, and let's try to implement this. We're gonna, yeah, we don't need this. Join up. Okay, we're gonna make an animation here. I also gonna, okay, there are some actions here. It doesn't matter. We're gonna lag, yeah, just lag. So here we're gonna insert keyframe and do this and insert keyframe here. And is that enough? Yeah, I think that's enough, right? Is this really working? Yes, it is. Yeah, precisely, right? So it's a derotator bone on the Z and X and Z axis, right? So it's a multi-dimensional, so it understands deltas. That means that it understands the diagonals, so you don't have to make the delta for this kind of setup. The problem is that if you add the fanny bone surrounding and you bind these surrounding manipulations to the front bendings, side bending individually, because it will be very hard to automate that otherwise, because of how you could do that with I was trying to figure out how to do this without the delta. Usually it's a product driver of X and Z axis, but it's not that simple. It's like it's a workaround that is not straightforward. Like sometimes it doesn't, you still have to configure the certain aspects of it. Yeah, ideally we wouldn't like to have to use any delta or make the delta, Blender understand the delta spatially. But here you see the fan bone, not the fanny bones, they are not existing here, but the fan bones, they don't need delta, they understand, they will rotate and derotate actually, yeah, so in all directions. It's a smart setup, right? But it's unfortunately it's insufficient for at least the complex joints, in my understanding, in my experience. And we usually need other setups in order to make this to work. So let's try to make the waves might be terrible here. But what I want to do here is to try to use that extra. I'm gonna go here. No, it's here, right? Well, I have the triple limb. I could use the... No, we want something at... Yeah, like I could pick this and try to mobilize this stuff. But it's doing already a lot of other things, right? It's not pointing. Yeah, it's not good. So it doesn't matter. I'm gonna ignore this one for now. We are going to add like, yeah, duplicate this thing. Actually, not like this. We're gonna add a bone here, rotate like here, align this here, delete this, and then we're gonna... Okay, I'm gonna remove this one. We're gonna symmetrize it in a moment. So this will be not fun, but yeah, like how do knee pointing, I don't know, sharp knee sharp, I don't know. Okay, and then I think this parent, let's see, this one, target shin, target thigh, okay, it works, okay. Let's just parent to the shin then. And the alignment is not that good, so yeah, it's like I need to find, ideally I should find the interpolation between them, the perfect angle. I'll do this. It's not important. We can use this orientation. They said there's some displacement though of the skeleton, so this is not very nice, because this happens because I have changed I've made change to the whole setup, so I'll have to probably reposition these bones here. Is it okay to... Yeah, we'll have just to reset some stuff, but in principle, that should work. Yeah, like we need to reset these ones. So I've placed this stretch to bone constraints on the mechanism, or the target actually, instead of the deformed bone of the base skeleton. So that will be, you see there's no bone constraint here, so they are stretching, although they are bendy bones. I could have more system, this tweaker system for cartoony rigs usually. Any rig for animation, right? It's a good practice, or I don't know, I never used this for animation too much, but I want to use it now, start implementing this on my rigs. It's very tedious. Rigify, I never done that system actually. It's should be a nice challenge, but I have a notion how it is done. That they need to split the limb in various parts. It's weird, right? So it's unfortunate because then I have, if I have a rig that works here, I have to, like this one is have this the twister handle that can solve some, to some extent, some twisting feature of the intermediate joints, but with the segmentation of the whole limb for making multiple of these bendy bones, so that we can make the bendy limb, entirely bendy limb for cartoony exaggeration, elastic people. Like, then you have to break the entire, maybe you can sustain this, but it's weird because it's like you'd have to disable this by driver, the deform, because if this deform starts competing with the deforms of the, well, there may be a solution actually. If this bone, now it might be very complicated. It's because there are other areas here. Yeah, it probably will be nightmarish. Better is to really maybe make this one a non-deformed bone, or take off its bendy bone effect and just do the twisting from, yeah, I have to figure out soon enough for the project, because this will be, I have to talk with the riggers there and see what they think about it, if they have a manual solution for all this already. Okay, so what you got here, this handle seems to be just working. Yeah, okay, this is it just works for one of the, not both, right? Okay, so what we need here, let's return. There's the control rig here. There's an animation. I want to establish this system here. So you see, it's not pointing the way I want. So it sort of need to point towards that direction, but not just that. So it also needs, maybe it doesn't need to do this, but it's not a deformed bone yet, but I want it to move like this, right? And this is the problem, because I have to map this, and maybe this can be achieved by a driver that calculates the angle, precisely the angle between two bones, because how Blender would know, right? So this is an interesting thing, but there are certainly other ways. There can only be one parent. but maybe I could stack transforms. Let's try something here. So currently this is parent of the target shin. Copy rotation. So if we make it halfway, sort of works. What about a back bending? There now it doesn't seem to be working anymore. Yeah, shame. It seems to be working on that, but here it seems to do a bad thing. Not that this will totally fail, but it seems incorrect. I really don't know why it's behaving like that, but see. Yeah, so it's inconsistent, but let's say the alignment sort of works, right? The other way that I thought, you can try to think what that means exactly. Yeah, the same problem occurs, right? It's probably because of it's stacking this rotation with this rotation in this direction. So it's maybe we could try to actually change the parenting. I need the parent to be somewhere. Yeah, it will cause more confusion. Um, so this is one of those complicated problems. Let's see if I can get it to use this driver. Where even is that driver? Confused now. How can? Okay, it's about its rotation, right? So it would be its x-axis rotation, and then we can take like not variable but actually this rotation difference, and so we got twice this, and now we need a target target thigh left and target shin left, and so there is identifies yeah, actually it might be a negative. No, it's not exactly that. Okay, so this is radians, right? So it's even more nightmarish, but I believe it's radians. So the thing here is that maybe I have to um, divide it by 2. Also, let's bring this here, then Shift D this here, and then let's move this back here and insert here. So now we have this I don't know why 5, maybe it's something about the radians. This seems to be accurate, more or less. The problem is that this won't work for the diagonals. Not that it really matters, right? But so I seldom use that event here, the driver that is different. I just know it exists and that few matter how it can be used, but here is an example. So the good thing about this, although it's a driver and driver code, it's not very efficient in Blender. It's horrible. It lags if you have many of them. It's not performative. It's not symmetrizable. They never fix that. So it's very garbageful in this sense. There are some add-ons that solve these things, but like this should be, it's like an urgent implementation thing, right? Copy driver. So it's a reason not to use them. But in a case like this, yeah, then you have to always manage it. It's super complicated, right? So it's not good to be, if there's a better way to do this without driver, then I would like to know. But for now, we just need to change the targets, I guess. Yeah, so all this, it's very annoying. Yeah, then you get this kind of stuff. For some reason, it didn't. Okay, now it sort of works. So the problem here is that, okay, I want this to be, I don't know, something like this. Yeah, why not? Then we want this to be a deformed bone with some with actual waves, right? And for this work here, we're gonna just use the mask. We need to have the loop. We need to improve this W. No, where it is? Yeah, it needs to be here, right? No? Okay, it's not working. There was a... They removed... No, it is here. Okay. I don't know if I want this actually, but okay, let's use this as, I don't know, these waves here. Then we're gonna brush. Where is the brush? Here. Mix. Yes, then we're gonna augment, so we're gonna string. Yeah, what's happening? I think it's locked. No. Seems like we have a problem here. Oh yeah, so this is a bug. I guess we need to disable this. Yeah. Yeah, so we're stealing waves from the knee, right? It doesn't need to be symmetric. Maybe here is better just blurring. And for the back part, I'm not sure what I want. It already has some relevant waves there, but not too much. Maybe that's good enough. But this is not sufficient. We can also pull this. Yeah, the waves here behind the leg is horrible, but it doesn't matter. It actually does. It will be very relevant to try to get the best result out of the very basics. So probably there's a problem with the other structures, right? What are these? One helper, Fanitae. Okay, so these are actually, no, they are mapper bones. This was for a previous setup. These are not, well, they are different bones. They are acting as, no, they are not different bones. Okay, so they are, also I'm in the wrong shape key. Okay, yes, so I rather delete this. What are these ones? Crotch bases. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna delete these ones. These are related to the fan bones anyways. This will be, yeah. What is this? Yeah, so delete. This is another alternative for map crotch, so this is not related to the fan bones system. I should also move them because, oh, here we have reminiscent of the fanny bones, yeah, but they are responding. Yeah, they're all disabled here. So I've removed it and I forgot to remove them from the right side, so it's useless. I don't want to. These will be fanny shuttle bones, fanny bones and shuttle bones as well. Yeah, a sort of stacks functionality. I call shuttle bones, but it's because they are like shuttles. They would. So this is not for the fan bone system, so this is incorrect. We're gonna move this to a new bone collection. I'll call help crotch. And if this exists anywhere, it should be maybe it's this. Yeah, this is the crotch bone, and we're gonna move this to help crotch. Yeah. So basically, this is just a way to use the fake parenting bone constraints, a copy transforms bone constraint for one side and another. So this substitutes, it might not be perfect, but it works. It substitutes the uh, armature bone constraint, and it doesn't imply, so I can't move this because, but I can, so I can parent, I still can parent the crotch, and it won't suffer double stacking transform. So I prefer like that, because even on, I hate those bones that are unparented unless there's a real reason for them, and this would be a reason, right? But you see, this displace the helper crotch there in a proportional posing way, and I prefer this system than the armature bone constraint. Yeah, because now this, even this can be parented, right? So I'm gonna change this ones to stick as mapper. I think it's better, and this I will change it to envelope, because so you see it's different. All right, anyways, we're gonna return here to the fan. So I'm gonna make the fan before the crotch. Yeah, so it's not really the order that I wanted, but it's kind of something like that should work. Maybe this limb triple, I'll put it to the end, because maybe I want to unmake it for this file. Okay, so here what we want finally is to decide how this will behave, right? So we want to we want this to stick forward. So if we have this pose, for example, so this will be like, so we don't need this thing anymore. What we want is actually to, let's see, maybe a copy location. How that would be. No, I don't want this. It's not copy location. It's how we make it react. Yeah, it will be literally a. Because it's reacting to a driver thing already, right? So as it, you see, as it augments, so it's another driver that we could do, right? It's annoying. Because the reference that we have here is this one. We could say that it's about the rotation of the mechanism shin, right? And try to ignore this one, right? So let's try this one, right? So I don't want to look at this. We want to look at this. So we're gonna make a transformation like a driver. Then we're gonna, so this is very important now, because we're gonna use its local space, but current local space, I'm not sure. This is intriguing, because you need to know if you want the rest position static one, or the one that is during the pose, like it's pointing here, it has moved. So here I believe it's where this will make a difference, but it's very hard to read this thing. So maybe it's this one in this case. So we're gonna map from the rotation of the target shin quaternion, because I think this is in quaternions anyways. Yes. And we're gonna translate that into a location of y based on the x. Yeah, can all be x here, doesn't matter. So because it's pointing forward, yes. No, it was inverted. Okay. Yeah, now that means that I have to change the, maybe, yeah, garbage. I'll have to go on and edit this driver again. Maybe it's positive now. Yeah, maybe now it's positive. Okay, so we want to move it forward. Yeah, add, it's fine. So the maximum based on, so positive based on the x rotation of this bone, right? Could be this one, but we are using this one, that's fine. So this will be a on local so as we, it's a positive rotation, right? So we ignore this and we get the positive. So this is an angle. I think this will go up to 90, let's exaggerate. There we go. And so nothing happens. So this is not working. I don't know. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's ignoring the, because of its parent. Yeah, it's no, it should work. Okay, here we got a reaction. Okay, so you see that this is moving. It's not. It's moving probably in that direction. So it's not using the correct local. Not even this one. Maybe you need something like. I don't know. I don't have a reference here. Okay, so in the beginning, yeah, it's moving, of course, because this shouldn't be this one. It's most likely incorrect. So why? Okay, so you see there's a slight displacement. So this is actually working. And then we come here, is also works, right? But it's moving in a weird direction. Ideally, you have to. Yeah, so it's strange. It's like not moving exactly the way I want, like, but it seems to be. Yeah, you see, it's or it's just an illusion. Now, in relation to the center, it seems to be tilting here downwards a little, and then and now it goes up for some reason. So it's just not respecting. Yeah, so for example, it just gets very messy with the orientation, right? Yeah, so this is dangerous, but at least we got it working to some extent. The problem is this. Okay, when we put this to the local, now it sort of denies everything. This will cause double transforms usually. Yeah, it's not even working. This one usually does nothing. Yeah, so here I don't know how to do this. It's like a problem that I've been trying to figure. Usually, even if you can't do the exact thing, we can get the job done, but it's annoying, right? There should be a way to make an updating orientation for it, so it will be dynamic, right? It's a very weird problem. So this is where the angle could be of that driver would be more relevant than this transformation, because this is not really related to that driver, right? So the more I insist on doing that, okay, maybe I could also add a compensation here, but this will probably then when we reach the opposite side, it will augment the right here. So or maybe do I need no, because the thing doesn't go in the yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, it's not the X anyways. It will be this one actually. And yeah, it will negate everything that I'm doing. Yeah, so I think this is not the way to go, and let's clear this out. Yeah, I could have a buffer bone that would intake that, and I would use the orientation of the buffer bone to make the adaptation, but it's like one problem after the other. But yeah, we could pull this on demand, right, in some crude way. Certainly I could solve this, that could take many days, maybe weeks of investigation to see which would be the best way to do that. For now, this is like just experimental. But yeah, we did something of interest. We find some directions. Okay, as for the fan bones, the dual fan bone systems, yes, it is doing its things right here. Okay, do I have a leverage here? Yeah, not leverage. I also have these ones. These are not working. We need to make them work. So we need to change these parentings. Target shin. Okay, I think this is just as this one. So the parent is right here, and this parent is mechanism foot. There is no mechanism foot, so we're gonna okay, still not working. What about this one? So this will be parented to here. No, wrong. Yeah, I think that I don't have a deformed bone for this toes, but it's okay for now. No, these are the actually I have. It's because these are fan bones, not get confused. Okay, but the still system is still not working. Of course, we need to update these things. So in principle, this will use the target shin. Yeah, it's always so it will be this one, target foot. Yeah, maybe that's it. It doesn't seem to be reacting. Transformation. Okay, so this is happening because so reason why it is a transformation is that in the extremities, the mechanisms, or in this case the target systems, depends on the control rig and how it relates to the mechanism rig and how it relates to the helper deform rig. And so this will make it more responsive here. Okay, this is not. Maybe we could target, maybe this is the wrong target actually. We target actually the non-orthodox, but I think I remember what is going here. We want to use here the target foot, yeah, the same parent. And then we're gonna target here the helper. So now, well, nothing seems to be, yeah, it's not working. It's possible that the axes are wrong here. No, it's seems to be correct. Yeah, posing it. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. So posing the mechanism, the target, it activates. However, posing this doesn't activate. So what's missing is that control tie, control I key. Okay, this of course wrong parent. So what should I do? This shouldn't be this parent, but maybe that's the wait. Control type. Yeah, so we're not gonna parent to this, we're gonna try to parent to the control shin. So no bone constraint here. Of course, now we lost this thing, right? We need to, well, it's following, right? But not the rotation. So just gonna make a full copy rotation. No, not pose space. Yeah, this is like bad. Let's change this horrible names of control I key. Yeah, like master I key foot left. Yeah, it's not doing the proper thing. So of course we need an I key target to do this properly. Control shin. Yeah, it's following the control shin. So we need to neutralize this. But at least now it is activating, right? Yeah, both of them are activating. Let's just see if this, if we change the target here, it also works. It's doing the reverse, so it's not good. So usually we want this to be target shin. Yeah, target. This won't actually work. No, this works. Okay, so we can employ this. It also depends on the axis of this. This system is weird, but it can be managed. There are various ways to do this. I usually attempt for the simplest. So this one is good. So you see the derotation. The fan bone is lagging behind the mechanism, so it's derotating. And here, as we scissor here, oh, this is inverted. Yeah, this is wrong. So I don't understand. Let's see. Yeah, it's in this case, we could ignore this even, like, but it's a smoother thing, right? So it's basically, because the shin is not moving here, right? So let's see what is better. Hard to tell. I think this is worse, right? But both things are worse. Maybe we need just to... It's confusing, right? But okay, this seems to be fine. Yeah, the only problem is that the foot is not being static here. If I make this entirely... Okay, I'm just gonna make a key target here. So I'm gonna get this one. So we're just gonna parent this here. I think it didn't work. No, wrong parent. So okay, this is done. Then what we need is that we pick this and this, and then we gonna copy transforms. Yes, copy transforms full. So we don't want this anymore. Be this and this. And then I symmetrize this. Then we pick this one. We're gonna move to the target skeleton, whatever. And then these ones we're gonna make sure they are in the control skeleton. Yeah, now we have the system, but this seems to have a double transform here. This is an older setup, I guess. Yeah, wrong parenting, of course. Yeah, wrong copy transforms also. Wait, what skeleton? What is this one? This is, of course, the I key target. Oh, but the parent is fine. Okay, so maybe I need to change the setup here for this particular case. I have no idea what's happening here, but we need to. Yeah, I think it's the parenting of this thing to the control shin which is going nuts. Or it's just a bone orientation thing matter. This thing seems to be twisting. Okay, it's wrong. Where is this mechanism foot here? There's no mechanism foot here. It's an old setup. I see it now. It's useless. Anyways, we're gonna parent to this one. Okay, yeah, there's a reminiscent rig set up right now. This is seems to be accurate. If this corresponds to some double transforms, maybe. But I'm not here for the control rig, right? Yeah, it's still weird. Yeah. Copy rotation to master I key. Yeah, this is the problem here. No, we still looks like double transforms to me. Okay, it's this one. Okay, I see what's going on. So this doesn't need this. Of course, it's already parented. That's it. This is still something terrible is happening. Okay, it doesn't matter right now. Let's move forward. And looks like I wasn't able to go very far today with the whole thing. Yes, fixed these fan bone systems, but on the, there are many others. Yeah, same here, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Yeah, just here, and then here, right? Other things to do here for this conclusion would be to change the face. I'd like to do that as the last thing. Make the character design different, like more generic. Could start this now, but no, I need to go, fellas. So we're gonna try to conclude these bone structures. Certainly the fan bones. I'd like to revise this. Leverage, I think we don't need to revise anything. Crotch, this is fine. Maybe the yeah, so essentially the fan bones is the most critical stuff. Then the control rig, just for the basic stuff, it needs to work fine. No need to anything special, just the good working, very basic stuff. And then the character design, maybe I'll change a little the breast region and certainly the face, yeah. And then I'll have to decide with which kind of I don't want this one. Yeah, so we are not very far to complete it. I just need a lot of focus. Tomorrow I'll try to conclude it in 1 or 2 sessions. So we are making progress. It was good here to see what I had already and what was not working with this automation now, and made some small addition, if experts, even though slightly experimental. We need to reactivate these fan bones. So I want the fan bone structure as a helper system, as a proposition, like, okay, use this, this is possibly an elegant solution. Crotch, this crotch automation, I think it's a good proposition as well. Then we have the leverage system, which is, it's a advanced rigging. This one is but it's time consuming, so it's not that efficient. It's difficult. There's a system like this, a bit like this, for the shoulders joints, which also works. We need to check if that works. So okay, and then the limbs triple, this I want to upgrade, and here I would like to try, yeah, let's try to limb triple sequence, and this is limb triple float. It's hard to understand like this, but, and then I also want to have a anti-scissoring, this, if I could get this, but it doesn't need to be done on this round. Yeah, that's true. All right, fellas, thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting. Well, tomorrow we'll be back certainly for the continuation here. It can't take too long. So I hope I can complete all this tomorrow. See you soon and happy blendering.